Hey everybody, and welcome back to another one of Mudflap's movie reviews. My name is Mudflap, and today I will be reviewing the finale of the show Obi Wan Kenobi. Let's get started. So this finale episode is directed by Deborah Chow. She directed all the episodes of Obi Wan Kenobi, and she did a really great job, so hats off to her. We open the scene where we see Obi Wan and all the people of Jabim fleeing from Darth Vader, as they just barely escape the cave that they were trapped in, and Obi-Wan realizes that the only way that these people are going to get a chance of not being shot down in the middle of space is if he goes into a pod and flies off to the closest planet he possibly can to distract Vader from everybody else, because we all know the only person that Vader cares about out of all those people on that ship is Obi-Wan. This whole show, when we've seen Vader, it's always been an extremely personal vendetta that he's got against Obi-Wan. We've seen Obi-Wan and him face off once already, which is really awesome. Obi-Wan didn't have much energy when they face off for the first time, but as we saw these last couple episodes, Obi-Wan's gaining his strength back. He's figuring out how to reconnect with the Force and being stronger than ever. He's mentally preparing himself to face Darth Vader once again. So this episode just really lived up to my expectations. I was just really hoping for a really great rematch between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, which is what I got, but a few other things happened that I didn't see coming that I absolutely loved. This was a top tier Star Wars episode, just everything that we wanted to see between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, and their relationship, and how Darth Vader's hatred has just blinded him. Like, all he sees now is just hate and power, and how Darth Vader has been shown throughout this entire show in a way that we haven't seen yet. Brutal, just brutal, vicious guy who doesn't care about who he kills, who he hurts. He doesn't have a soul. Like, we see Darth Vader's true power in these last couple episodes. Specifically, we saw it in episode 5, where he used the Force to bring down the transport ship. That was a nod to Starkiller. The video game Force Unleashed, Starkiller does the exact same thing. So that was really cool that they pulled from that. But we got to see Darth Vader's raw power. Like, we've seen Darth Vader in the past, and he's done some really cool stuff. But this show showcased Darth Vader in a way that we haven't seen yet in his formative years, where he's just vicious. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, the guy just doesn't care about anybody, and how extremely personal it was to find Obi-Wan, that, you know, he dispatched inquisitors to find him, and they would torture people and kill people all to find one man. I mean, you can't get much more personal than that. I want to talk about Reva for a little bit. At the beginning of the show, I did say that I liked Reva's character. I felt she was a bit much. She seemed to have some reason for being so overzealous with trying to find Obi-Wan, but we found out later that she was playing Darth Vader. Like, she was trying to prove her worth to Darth Vader so that she could get close enough to him to kill him, because my theory was correct. I think a lot of people's theories were correct when she was probably a youngling during Order 66, and that's how she knew Darth Vader was Anakin. You know, she saw him at the Jedi Temple killing all the younglings, and she barely escaped with her own life. So this was, you know, she had a personal thing going on too. But I gotta say, you know, at the end of this episode, I had heard and read that there's going to be a bait and switch where Reva would actually turn out to be like a good guy and save Luke from Darth Vader and all that. It kind of was a bait and switch. It wasn't as extreme as some people were saying. I was actually completely okay with it. I thought it was really great that she had a change of heart. She broke free from all the hatred and all the brokenness that she felt towards just all the stuff that she had done, just trying to get Darth Vader close enough to her that, you know, he'd be blinded by that, and he would have no idea that she was that youngling that, you know, was at the temple when he killed all the other younglings. But of course, we all know Darth Vader is not stupid. Like, he is extremely close in the Force, and he says it to her, like in episode 5, like, "Do you think I didn't see you coming?" That was just really crazy. But I liked how they turned Reva into a good guy. Like, it was a good redemption for her. I liked her character. I think her character got a little bit too much hate, but I was willing to write it out and just see how they were gonna build her character and how she would turn out at the very end. And I'm just really happy with how Reva's character was treated. So yeah, I have to talk about Obi-Wan and Darth Vader going at it once again. We got to see Obi-Wan do some cool stuff with the Force that he's never really done before. But it was just an epic showdown once again. He said a couple lines that were from the prequels that I thought was just, it gave me chills when he said a couple of them. He said, "I will do what I must," just like he said in Revenge of the Sith when he fought Anakin for the first time, "I will do what I must." Just harkening back to the prequels. I think the prequels are getting a lot more love now. They're doing the prequels a little more justice because they brought Hayden Christensen back. They did flashbacks to Attack of the Clones period where he still had both his arms. He was training and he was learning more and more about the Force and how he just doesn't like to lose and how he's always trying to prove to Obi-Wan that he's the best, and how that's actually his downfall. That's actually Darth Vader's weakness, is he's always trying to be the best, and that's where his weakness is, his blind spot is. He's so focused on being number one that he doesn't see everything else around him. That fight was absolutely amazing. Choreography was super awesome. Great job, whoever the choreographer was. It reminded me a lot of the prequel fighting. We got to see some really cool lightsaber action. There are a couple of scenes that just made me go, whoa, like we got to see Darth Vader, they had Darth Vader and Obi-Wan had some really deep conversations, some really powerful stuff that happened, because Obi-Wan is still extremely broken from the relationship that he had with Anakin, and he just realized in this episode that Anakin is truly gone and only Darth Vader remains. So it was just pretty heartbreaking during that fight scene at the end where Obi-Wan and Darth Vader talked it out, and Obi-Wan just truly sorry for everything that happened to Anakin, but Anakin is just so gone. He's now Darth Vader, like he's completely given himself all to the dark side. There's no sympathy left in him, there's no soul, there's nothing there. All there is hate and suffering and rage, just like Yoda told Anakin back in the prequels what the dark side leads to. We got to see all of that in this last episode. I mean, one of my favorite moments from this episode specifically was that fight scene. It was exactly what I was hoping for, just absolutely amazing. There was also some pretty heartfelt stuff between Obi-Wan and Leia that I thought was just really cool, that I really enjoyed those moments. A couple great cameos that showed up. One of them I knew about. The other one, it was more of a hope that, this cameo would appear, and the cameo actually happened. So those two cameo appearances were also among my favorite moments from this episode. But when it comes to favorite episodes, my favorite one I have to say was number 5. The thing that really made me love episode 5 the most was when Vader brought down the transport ship using the Force, but also when he fought Reva and he didn't even draw his lightsaber, all he used was the Force. Like he was just playing with her, like you got to see Darth Vader just playing with people like, a cat plays with yarn, just playing with your food before you kill it. Like, just the strongest Vader we've seen so far, and that's just what I really loved about this show a lot, was just how awesome he was, but also how broken Obi-Wan was, and the dynamics between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan just really made this show really great. When I compare it to all the other Star Wars shows that we've had so far, it's really close. Mandalorian to me is still number 1 on the list for me for favorite Star Wars shows, but Obi-Wan is just slightly underneath it. I think the only thing for me that would take Obi-Wan and top Mandalorian is just better writing, slightly better writing. I think if Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau helped out a little bit with Obi-Wan, I think I would definitely say with absolute confidence that Obi-Wan is my favorite Star Wars show so far, but that's not the case. Mandalorian is still the best Star Wars show out there, but Obi-Wan is just on the cusp of being the best one out there, in my opinion, of course. But Obi Wan Kenobi it didn't disappoint at all. They are saying there's going to be a season 2 coming out. I'm not sure what that's going to entail, but whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be super awesome. I'm going to give this final episode of Obi Wan Kenobi a 9 out of 10 Mudflaps. And before you go, drop in the comments below, what was your favorite episode of Obi Wan Kenobi? And as always, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and I'll see you next time.